another learning lesson. Then I had this crazy idea with another boutique owner from the first booth space that I got in. I came to her and I was like, how cool would it be? Because I know so many boutiques, again, at this time, after 2020, summer of 2021, things are still struggling, you know? And I was like, I feel like a lot of boutique owners have tons of inventory that they're just trying to get rid of. And how cool would it be to just like all come together and have this big like warehouse sale and just do it for like a Saturday and find a space to do that in. And so she was down to join me and putting this together. So it went from being a day to a weekend to a week to a month to, and talking to the mall, they talked us into doing a long-term pop-up from August to December of that year. And again, had sold us on stores of your space, do this much a month. And we were just like, oh my gosh, this would be life-changing if we could do this. So we got enough vendors to help to pay the rent basically, and then charged a commission, which was basically to try to help pay for employees. And when I went into this with her, my job, because this was actually 2 hours from where I lived. This was back in my hometown, and I had moved back to Arkansas, and this is in Missouri. And so at the time, I had a job that was completely remote. And I thought, oh, I'll be able to like come in town a lot. I'll have more flexibility so I can pop in and help out. And then my job, pretty much like a few weeks before we opened, my boss quit and I took his job and had to be in the office all the time. So I had helped do a lot of the upfront stuff and back end things, and then it ended up, coming to my co-owner to really run the day-to-day show. And we had hired employees, and thankfully she was great through that, but it was probably the most stressful few months of my life. I ended up having to have a hard conversation with her and say, like, this is, like, I can't do this. I literally can't do this from here. It's just too much stress. And so I got out of our contract, and sometime in October, I think, and she handled the rest of the contract those last couple of months, and I just became just like a normal vendor. So I'm thankful for her understanding in that, but that was honestly the most stressful few months probably of my entrepreneurship life. Lots of stories from that. But also coming to an end was shows. I had done so many shows at this point, and so from fall 2021 through spring 2022, I did a few more events before deciding that I just didn't have it in me anymore. If you haven't done a show before, they're just very exhausting. I would say if you want to start doing shows, do one like my first one, where it's one day, easy setup, few hours, and go from there. Because a lot of these other shows that I were doing were 2 days, 3 days long, most of, the day, huge setup. They require certain things, and it just takes a lot of prep time before the show, and then actually working the show, and then packing up and unpacking it once you get home and clean up, and it's a lot of work. It is a job in itself, and I just didn't have it in me anymore to continue doing shows and the passion that I once had. So then I kind of like with the collective boutique, I was like, okay, kind of taking that concept, what if I just do a 1 day boutique pop-up? And so I did this 2 different years. My first was in July 2022. It was actually in August. So July, I started planning it. So like less than a month, I organized an entire pop-up event. It is possible with 13 vendors. I found a space that was in a great location. It was downtown. There was farmers market traffic, and they were able to give me a good rate since I was a small business and what I was trying to do. And so the vendors, their fees that I charged paid for the space. And that's all they paid. They didn't pay any commission on top of that. That way, basically, I did all the work, and then I had a bunch of space to sell my stuff and have pure profit. So I just had to put in the sweat and my supplies to make the profit. I was able to actually find one other boutique owner to be part of it with me, where we did that warehouse sale feel where everything was like $30 and under, like $5-10, just trying to get rid of it. And then all the other vendors were more like handmade stuff. Like we've had candle makers and jewelry and all the things. So that was a great success. And I had just spent a lot of time focusing on my booths, that my online was neglected, and I had lost a ton of followers. I hadn't been posting, and I had tried some different things to try to get that momentum back, like drop shipping, pre-orders, just doing a bunch of things that didn't feel true to me, true to my brand. And so I decided, because I wasn't going all in like I had at one point, that it was just time to close my online storefront, focus on my one booth space that I now had, and explore my new interest that I was having, like web design, which I'll talk about more in a second. And then I did one more pop-up in September 2023. I planned it a little bit further out that time around. I was able to get a lot of the same vendors. It was a lot easier to plan the second time around. I was the sole boutique person, and I had it in September to really be like fall kickoff focused. I had gotten a bunch of new fall merchandise that I was like, I'm gonna have it first at this event, and then it's gonna go in my booth space and gonna try to sell through it. Through this presentation, did you see a trend? I love planning and events. I love details. I love just the process of getting things together and figuring it all out. And I've experienced a lot through all of that boutique journey. I've taken different courses. I've invested in myself through the years, listening to podcasts, like I'm sure many of you have. And I also do product development for one of the biggest retailers in the world. So I have a ton of different knowledge and tidbits, and I really want to help you start your journey on the right foot. I want to save you thousands and thousands of dollars, endless hours of research, and save you so much frustration. So, are you ready to start your online boutique journey? Do you need a guide that will help you put together a brand in 5 days? Or someone that can do it in 3? Do you want a full guide on where to start and what to do? Do you want to save thousands of dollars by not making the mistakes that I made? Or do you want some juicy secrets to help you get set up for success? I've been exactly where you are, and I figured it out through my own search and experience before TikTok existed. And I just want to save you time and money as you start your journey. So I have some different offers that I wanted to go through with you. The first is a free guide. So this is no-brainer. It's just a mini guide with outline steps and question prompts to just get you thinking through what it would be to start your dream boutique. If you're just beginning, this is a great place to start and see if this is even something you're really interested in. My newest offer, at the time of recording at least, is Primetime Branding. Create a branded biz in 5 days. So this will be a video-led course, kind of similar to this style, and it's going to go through creating your own business brand, and it includes a branding workbook, a vision board template with an example, a brand board template with an example, recommended tools and sites, as well as just a Canva tool basics video tutorial, because we'll use Canva in it. So if you're not familiar with using Canva, I got you. But if you are more hands-off and you want someone that's more of an expert to put your branding together, I do offer a brand sesh package separately if that's something that you are interested in. Then the next step, either you really just want to start off on the right foot, or maybe you've started and you just have a lot of questions. I made a 20-day boutique guide. And this thing is jam-packed with like all my knowledge from my years of running my business. So it includes where to shop, vendor list, recommended tools and apps, an equipment list, like pages and pages of equipment that I bought with direct links for you. I go through who my private labeling vendor is, which if you're like, what's private labeling? It's when you can put your own label in your clothing. Really helps with branding. So I share that information. And then how to price your items and so much more. I am thinking about discontinuing this and turning it into a more high-end video-led course, which would be a lot more expensive. But this is a PDF guide. There's no videos in it. So if you are interested in it, this is literally all my knowledge wrapped up in one. And then just some other things from what I've talked about. Maybe you're going and you're like, I just need help with social media. I do a social media audit where I'll just go through your Facebook, your Instagram, and give you some information that maybe you're just not seeing because you're too connected to it. I can probably quickly point out a few things where you can make some changes that could really help you out. One-on-one chat. This is an hour-long Zoom call. It'll be recorded, so you can just focus on having a conversation with me. You can ask me all the questions. This is great. I mean, really wherever you're at in your journey, if you're just getting started and you have some different ideas and paths, but you're not really sure which direction to go, or you're already in it and you just need some help. I would love to talk to you and help you out. So like I said, I'll be recorded and then you'll get the recording afterwards. And then website design, that is something that I've mentioned has been a new passion of mine. So I design on Showit. I also can do Shopify, but I'm really focused on Showit. So I have two different offers, whether there's a template design you want to use or you want a custom website. And I have a 1 to 2 week turnaround on that. That's a big thing, is to have quick turnarounds and you don't have like 6 months of designing and waiting. So this is better for people that maybe want to focus on having blogs, are more service related, have kind of the same handful of products, versus Shopify is what probably most of you watching are going to be using. That's going to be better for having lots of inventory, changing inventory. Shopify is where that's at, which I offer services in that as well. But I am so glad that you joined me today. I hope it's been inspirational, that you've had some aha moments, and yeah, that it's just helped guide you on your journey. So stay connected through my website or through Instagram. Yeah, I can't wait to connect with you. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions about any of the offers. Send me a DM and I'm happy to chat with you. All right, have a great day.